Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm audible. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Bakshi sir, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you, Aarti?
I'm absolutely fine, sir. Absolutely
Thank you.
fine. Can we start?
We can
sir?
wait for 2-3 minutes. Let participant join.
Okay. Okay.
Then we can start.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Aarti, I think we can start now.
जी sir. Namaskar. I'm Dr. Aarti Dubey from Viva College, Virar. Welcome you all for the NEP orientation and the sensitization program. This is our 61st batch, which is sponsored by the UGC Malviya Mission Teacher Training Center, GAD-MMTTC, formerly known as the GAD-TLC, SGTB Khalsa College, University of Delhi. It is from 4th August to 14th August 2026. It's my great pleasure to introduce our guest, our speaker, Professor Bakshi sir. Professor Bakshi sir is the founder, VC, PDM University, Bahadurgarh. Professor Bakshi sir is the former VC, UP, RTOU, Allahabad. Professor Bakshi sir is the former Executive Director, Territory Education Commission, Mauritius. Bakshi sir is a distinguished name in Indian higher education and the scientific research, known for his exceptional scholarship, visionary leadership, and the transformative contribution to academia. A double gold medalist and the record-setting scholar from the University of Delhi. He earned his PhD in chemistry with high distinction, paving the way for a career marked by the academic brilliance and the pioneering institutional leadership. Over the decades, Professor Bakshi sir has held several prestigious academic and administrative positions in India and internationally. He served as the funding VC of PDM University, Bahadurgarh, Haryana, where he played a foundational role in building a dynamic, research-driven institution. He was also appointed to global selection as an executive director of the Territory Education Commission (TEC) Mauritius, a role equivalent to the UGC chairman in India. Earlier, he served as the VC of UP Rajashri Tandon Open University, Allahabad. As the University of the Delhi, his legacy is equally impactful. He has served as a Sri Shankar Lal Chair, Professor of Chemistry, Head of the Department of Chemistry, Director of the Center for Professional Development in Higher Education, and Director of the Institute of Lifelong Learning. Additionally, he was a visiting professor at Guru Gobind Singh Indraprastha University, Delhi. Professor Bakshi sir is currently mentor to UGC-MMTTC at Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Khalsa College, University of Delhi. He has earlier chaired the Guru Angad Dev Technical Learning Center GAD-TLC and was a key member of the Standing Committee of the National Mission on Education through ICT. Is chairman of the Content Advisory Committee for Chemistry for the Sakshat portal. He has played a vital role in promoting digital learning nationwide. Internationally, Professor Bakshi sir pursued postdoctorate research in Germany and Japan, including under Nobel laureate Professor Kinchi Fuki. He also served as a visiting scientist at TIFR Mumbai and IISc Bangalore. Notably, he was a member of Indian third scientific expedition to Antarctica, which led to the establishment of the Dakshin Gangotri Research Base. An earlier proponent of e-learning, Professor Bakshi sir has authored over 200 research publications, 11 books, 51 edited volumes, and the 63 e-learning modules for national platforms such as SWAYAM and the ARPIT, transforming digital education and faculty development across India. His accolades include the HEE Award, Acharya Shikshavid Samman, World Education Award, IDA Award, Bharat Jyoti Award, and fellowship from IUPAC, FNSC, and the Chemical Research Society of India. Twice felicitated by the former President Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Sir and later by Ministry Smriti Zubin Irani ma'am. He remains one of the India's most respected and the sought after academic thought leader with nearly 500 invited talks in just 4 years. Professor Bakshi sir continued to inspire through his profound commitment to the excellence in science and education. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Madam Arti Dubey, for your very kind words of introduction. And good evening, all the participants. It's indeed a great pleasure and a privilege to have this opportunity to deliver this talk to you at the first NEP orientation and sensitization program. This is the first talk. But before I start, may I request all of you to please keep your videos on. I find just 10-12 people only keeping their videos on. See, it is mandatory under the program that all the participants should join this program with their videos on. Otherwise, they can always leave the program. We will be taking the screenshots and your attendance will be counted on the basis of the screenshots. Even otherwise, you will all agree it looks little unprofessional that the speaker is keeping his videos on, but you are keeping your videos off. That doesn't look nice. So please keep your videos on. Again, a request to all of you. And be very much actively involved in the talks. This is a program of the Government of India, which is mandatory for all of you. This is the 61st batch which we are organizing. And the title of the program, as you know, is NEP Orientation and Sensitization Program. So the focus will be entirely on new education policy. And then the two words come, orientation and sensitization. Orientation will focus on what are going to be the new reforms in education. And sensitization will focus on why those reforms are needed. So that will be ultimately the purpose of this program. In this program, there will be 18 lectures, 16 lectures, sorry, on 8 working days. Every day you will have 2 lectures. So all of you should attend this program in time, try to get benefit out of this program. We have very, very eminent resource persons of the country. They are talking to you. So make the best use of the facility. So now before I start my talk, let me share my screen first. So this is the title of my this inaugural address. The focus is going to be on empowering teachers for 21st century challenges in higher education. Perspectives from NEP 2020. So this talk will focus on all the challenges which lie ahead in the context of higher education in India. And as it's written here, challenges are nothing else but the opportunities in disguise. So each challenge is an opportunity for you. You should understand the challenge and try to make the best use of that challenge, best use of that opportunity. So this talk is going to be a motivational talk based on NEP 2020 with an aim to empower you so that you can succeed and thrive in the 21st century. And believe you me, this is going to be a game changer for each one of you. Just try to understand the talk. This talk is based on my conceptualization and experience and will prepare you for facing the challenges in your profession as well as in your own life. The thinking behind the talk is give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man how to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. So this talk is like teaching you how to fish. So this talk will be in 2 parts. First part will be an introduction, where we will touch upon the salient features of National Education Policy 2020. And second part will be the main part, where we will talk about the various challenges in higher education. So coming to this introduction, the first question can come to your mind. What is the spirit behind National Education Policy 2020? Why this policy has been introduced? See, It is an education policy. And please remember, education is relevant and of quality only when it is able to serve the needs of the changing society. Otherwise, education has no meaning. If you look at our history, the first education policy came in 1968. Second came in 1986. And now it came in 2020. That is the first education policy of the 21st century. Why? Because 21st century world is changing very, very fast, mainly because of technological advancements. Needs of the society are changing, and therefore education should also change. Therefore, this policy proposes various reforms in education which are suited to 21st century needs. If you go through the document of NEP 2020, it's a visionary document which expresses the aspirations of the nation. And this policy aims at making India a global knowledge superpower. That is the first aim. India should become a global knowledge superpower. Superpower not only in terms of knowledge dissemination, that is teaching, learning, but also in terms of knowledge creation, that is research. So India should excel both in teaching as well as in research. It's important, because most of our colleagues are not that good at research. So they will have to improve. And second is global study destination. Our higher educational institutions should become so good that learners from all over the world come to India for their higher studies. So that is the meaning of global study destination. And here, I would like to mention, please remember that research creates new knowledge while teaching spreads existing knowledge. No doubt both are important, but creating new knowledge is more important than spreading the existing knowledge. Teaching is, something like lightening the lamp, while research is like building the road ahead. So where would you light the lamp if there is no road? So that shows the relative importance of research over teaching. And then, this policy aims at making India a vibrant knowledge society. What is a vibrant knowledge society? Knowledge society is a dynamic community where everything revolves around knowledge. That means you create good quality research. That knowledge which is created is shared, utilized to drive innovation, economic growth, and social well-being. So everything revolves around research. So there is a lot of focus on research and innovation in this policy. Because you will all agree, you cannot have development in the country without research. That is why research and development, they are inseparable. And then it talks about creating NRF, National Research Foundation. This is going to be an apex body. This is the body which will be, funding various research projects. In future, if you will have to get research grant, you will have to apply to NRF. And those projects are given preference now where research is globally competent but locally relevant. This is very, very important. And then, this policy proposes to achieve its goals by making education more holistic, flexible, and multidisciplinary. These three things are very, very important. Holistic, flexible, and multidisciplinary. Holistic means what? Holistic means you have to focus on the overall development of your students. Because wherever you present yourself as a whole. Physical, mental, social, emotional, moral, all. Not a lopsided developed person. So holistic development means that. Then flexibility is a feature which has been introduced in this policy. Now there are going to be multiple entry and exit options. If you quit after first year, you get certificate. After second year, diploma, like that, diploma, and then diploma with degree with research. And then there is academic bank of credits, which facilitates this multiple entry and exit options. And then there is multidisciplinary. This I will talk later. See, this was my article in Times of India's Education Times, where it talks about the opportunity to design your own degree. It talks about academic bank of credits. This is the meaning of holistic development, which I was talking. Overall development, physical, emotional, mental, social. So how this policy achieves holistic development? This achieves by integrating academics with co-curricular and vocational subjects. Whether it is the academic subjects, or whether it is the co-curricular activities, or whether it is the vocational subjects, all are treated at par. No discrimination. So that's the basic meaning of holistic growth and holistic development. Then these are the 5 pillars of NEP 2020. One is access. This policy aims at enhancing access to higher education. Currently, our gross enrollment ratio in the country is about 29 to 30%. The target which has been set is 50% gross enrollment ratio by 2035. So access to higher education has to increase. Then quality has to be enhanced. Then education should be imparted with equity. No discrimination, social justice. Then education should be affordable. And then there should be accountability in the education system. These are the 5 pillars of NEP 2020. This is the meaning of equity. On the right side, you can see fair, social justice, unlike equality on the left side. And why I am focusing on empowering you teachers? Please remember, the quality of an education system can never exceed the quality of its teachers. So if you want to raise the quality of an education system, you must raise the competence level of the teachers. Otherwise, there will be no perceptible change. And once teachers are empowered, they in turn will empower their students. So directly or indirectly, everything is being done to support student learning. That's the meaning of empowerment. That is why we are focusing on these lectures. In higher education, there are 16 lakh teachers. If you empower them, they in turn will empower their students. That's the whole thinking. And you will all agree that our greatest natural resource is the minds of young children. India is one of the youngest nations of the world. 50% population is less than 25 years. 65% population is less than 35 years. So we need to ready these young children for our future. And to a great extent, responsibility rests with you, the teachers. So you Sorry, my throat is little not well. So you can understand your responsibility. See, students may be 25% of our population, but then they are 100% of our future. Our future depends on them. You have to give them the right type of education. See, you may be taking your classes regularly. You may be finishing your syllabus. But one question will remain: are you giving them the right type of education or not? If you're not giving them the right type of education, then you are miseducating them. We have to ensure that our students get quality education, and we have to understand what quality education means. Because, a child miseducated is a child lost. We cannot afford to lose even a single child. So this is a very, very important point. Give your students the right type of education, quality education, and what that education will be, we will talk later. And now I come to the main part, that is the challenges in the 21st century. See, there are many challenges. The first challenge which comes is from information age. We are living in an information age where you can get any information just by the click of a button. But this information age poses many challenges. Look at this. This is an age of uncertainty with respect to jobs. So this information age has become an age of uncertainty with respect to jobs. Job landscape is changing very, very fast. There is a future of jobs report published by World Economic Forum, based on which you can say you are not sure where your children will be employed tomorrow. You may not be knowing, those jobs may not be existing. So there is a lot of uncertainty with respect to jobs because of technological advancements. Second, this has become an age of mass education. This is an age where more students over the next 30 years will graduate than since the beginning of the recorded history. Because, all colleges and universities are trying to increase the gross enrollment ratio. So more and more students will be coming out of colleges and universities. But traditional jobs are becoming less. So it will create a tough competition. There will be many takers, but very few traditional jobs. And then this is also an age of artificial intelligence. This is an age where artificial intelligence will equal the intelligence of the students by the time they finish their formal education. So, the question will be, if I can have machines with the same intelligence as you, then why do I need you? So that's also a challenge. Because, all those jobs which are of repetitive or predictable nature, which require no critical thinking, no critical analysis, no research base, no specialization, all those jobs are going to be in danger, either because of artificial intelligence, automation, or robotics. Look at the picture. Humans working with robots. This is going to be a very common scenario in future. And then this information age is also becoming an age of misinformation and disinformation. All types of informations are now available. Misinformation and disinformation means wrong information. The difference is only in the intention. It may be by mistake or it may be deliberately. And this has become a global danger. So you can see information age poses so many challenges. Information will now be available in abundance. Think of any information and you can immediately get it. So now the question you may ask, how this becomes a challenge for a teacher? This becomes a challenge for a teacher because the challenge before you is going to be what to teach and how to teach. This is going to be a big challenge in the 21st century. So that your children are successful in a future which looks so uncertain. This is going to be a challenge for all of you. What to teach, how to teach. Because information is available in abundance. Anything you demand immediately, you can get it. So the purpose of education will change now. The role of the teacher will change now. The second challenge in the 21st century is the Sustainable Development Goals. You will all agree that sustainable development is the burning issue in the world at present. Everybody is talking about sustainable development. Sustainable means something which can be maintained for a long period of time, especially keeping in view the future generations. Development is always economic development. Now, the first question which may come to your mind is, why we are so much bothered about sustainable development? Why there is so much concern? These are the reasons. Population is exploding very fast. Currently, we have about 8 billion people. And by the end of this century or 2050, you will have 9.7 billion people. This population explosion will lead to fast depletion of resources. There will be pressure on food, minerals, and other natural resources. Those could be in short supply. Then water scarcity is going to be a big issue in the 21st century. Problem of environmental degradation. You all know how our environment is getting degraded. And then climate change. Rising sea levels, increase in atmospheric temperature. You must have seen in the news, Europe is facing acute climate change problem. It is witnessing summer which it has never got earlier. Many people have died in France and Germany just because of rise in temperature. So, all these are the issues of concern for sustainable development. That is why United Nations in 2015 gave 17 Sustainable Development Goals for achieving them by 2030. 17 goals. But United Nations never gave any roadmap. As a matter of fact, you cannot give a roadmap because world is full of diversity and the nature of the problem varies from region to region. The solution which may be applicable in one part of the world may not be applicable elsewhere. And all these 17 goals form this United Nations Agenda 2030. And to this agreement, 193 countries signed, including India. India is also a signatory to this United Nations Agenda 2030. And on the right, you can see 17 goals. One thing which you notice is each goal has been given a different color. each goal has been given a different color. Look at this. First goal is no poverty. Second is zero hunger. Then good health and well-being. Then fourth is quality education. Then gender equality. So, all these goals are actually real world problems. These problems affect humanity. They are the problems for the entire world. And they need to be addressed. And these goals are actually representing real world problems which are very complex. And they require knowledge of several different disciplines for their solution. For example, if you want to solve the problem of climate change, you need knowledge of climatology, political science, economics, green technology, sociology. That is why, multidisciplinary education is now becoming popular. Try to understand why multidisciplinary education is becoming popular. Because, multidisciplinary education will allow students to look at one problem through the lens of different disciplines. And then it is believed it will make students more creative and flexible in their thinking. But it's not so easy to implement multidisciplinary education. There are many challenges, especially in the context of curriculum development. But this concept is now becoming very, very popular. This was my one article which I recently wrote. It was about a few years back. It is about the role of basic sciences in achieving sustainable development. How science can play an important role in sustainable development. Because if you want to achieve these goals, you need to do scientific research. And science can play a very important role. This is my recent book which has come, Energy for Sustainable Future. This is published by National Book Trust of India. So, all these sustainable development goals affect everybody. Therefore, in our teaching, we should emphasize on them. And in our research, we should try to find a solution to those problems. That is why it becomes a challenge for higher education teachers. The third challenge in the 21st century is 21st century learning needs. You may ask a question. What are the learning needs in the 21st century? What should students learn? What should students learn in the 21st century if they want to be successful? It's now widely believed that if you want to succeed and thrive in the 21st century, you need at least these two things. One is rigorous academic content. You have to be very good in your subject. Should have done a lot of thinking on the subject. Then 21st century skills. 21st century skills are a set of abilities which each one of you should have. And these two taken together lead to deeper learning. That's the meaning of 21st century learning. And these are the 21st century skills. Look at, this is a very important slide. We will be using it very often. These skills come under three categories, as you can see. Learning skills, which are critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and communication. 4 C's. Literacy skills, information literacy, media literacy, technology literacy, IMT. And then life skills, flexibility, leadership, initiative, productivity, and social skills. So taken together, These are 12 skills known as 21st century skills. This not only your students should have, but you should also have. They will elevate your job performance. These are personal skills. These are going to be the deciding factor in this information age, in the placement. See, as I will show you at one stage, skills are now becoming more important than degrees. And these are personal. You cannot have machines with these skills. You can't have a machine which is critically thinking or which has leadership quality. Artificial intelligence cannot replicate them. And therefore, quality education in the 21st century is this. This is the most important slide for all of you. Quality education in the 21st century should focus on these three things: knowledge, disciplinary, interdisciplinary, and practical, number one. Number two is 21st century skills and some domain specific skills, some skills specific to your discipline. And number three, your personality, your values, attitude, traits, disposition. All three are part of quality education. See, when we were students, focus was mainly only on knowledge. Nobody talked much about skills or personality traits. They thought everyone will have something. But now all the three things are very, very important. And quality education should focus on all the three things. These three things will ultimately determine your competence for any profession. You may go in any profession. Ultimately, your competence will be determined by knowledge, skills, and personality. That's why, so many colleges and universities are starting skill enhancement courses to strengthen the skill component and value-added courses to improve the personality traits. So this slide, you should always keep it in mind. And therefore, you should remember that success in today's world demands not just knowledge, but also 21st century skills and strong personality to enable you to innovate and navigate a rapidly changing technology-driven world. And interdisciplinarity is also important. No real world problem can be solved just with the knowledge of one discipline. You cannot solve. This you have to remember. Innovation in today's world is no longer confined to single disciplines. It thrives at the intersection of diverse fields. When two or more fields come together, new solutions emerge which were once considered unimaginable. Nobody would have thought. So, ladies and gentlemen, acquiring competence should be the goal of quality education. And this slide summarizes what I told you. Quality education should focus on knowledge, skills, personality. These three will determine your competence. How you impart quality education, that is a different matter. These days, people talk about outcome-based education. Outcomes are what? Outcomes are nothing else but the mixture of knowledge, skills, and personality traits. People talk about competency-based education or competency-based assessment. Again, competence is determined by all the three. So, quality education has to focus on all the three things. This is a very, very important slide. The fourth challenge, in my opinion, is we need creative and innovative minds in India. There is a dearth of creative and innovative minds. Look at this. There is a crisis of innovation and creativity in Indian education system. Have you ever thought no Indian scientist working in India has been able to get Nobel Prize after 1930? C.V. Raman was the last person who got Nobel Prize in 1930 for the discovery of Raman effect in 1928. And he announced this discovery on 28th February. That is why that is celebrated as National Science Day. In chemistry, nobody has ever got Nobel Prize. These people did get Nobel Prize, but they were non-resident Indians. Amritya Sen, although an Indian, but has been working for years abroad. Abhijit Banerjee is an American citizen. And we have not been able to produce even a single Nobel laureate after 1930. Just look at that. And look at these top 5 universities of the world, how many Nobel laureates they have produced. Harvard has produced more than 160. Cambridge has produced more than 124. Columbia, 101, and so on. And please remember, Nobel Prize is not a lifetime achievement award. No. If you want to excel in research at that level, you need to have enormous amount of creativity and open-mindedness. This is generally missing in our students. They are not creative. Open-mindedness means good ideas may come from any source. Then willingness to collaborate is required. We look at our students look at every other student as a competitor. So it becomes difficult to collaborate. And then perseverance and resilience. We want sometimes immediate gains. That may not be possible. And resilience. In the life of any individual, there may be setbacks, failure. That is not the end of the world. You should bounce back. I remember a Nobel laureate in chemistry getting Nobel Prize at the age of 97 years. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the reason why our ranking is so poor. There is a reason why we have a poor quality research programs. We are not trained for that. Our best students do not come to research. There was a report that best of the science students are going to civil services, IAS, IPS, etc. And look at this. 99% of the higher educational institutions are not contributing to the country's high quality knowledge creation. 99% are doing routine research, promotion driven research. If promotion is delinked from research, nobody will do research in our country. Emphasis is more on quantity rather than quality. So you can see, why I am telling you, because, you are all in this profession. You have to understand. Why do we lack in quality research? Have you ever thought? We are not trained for that. There is something fundamentally wrong in our education system. And what is wrong in our education system? Just watch this video for a minute.
For decades, people have been finding hundreds of flaws in the education system. No conceptual understanding, no creativity, children are stressed, and the list goes on. All these are symptoms. But what is the root cause to all this? What is the fundamental flaw in the education system? Let us play a rapid-fire game. You have 1 second to answer every question. Let's start. First question. A4? Okay, no more questions. Did you think apple first? 98% of people are most likely to think so. Because that was what we were told in our kindergarten. Imagine that this was done differently. Say we had asked you for all the words starting with A, ant, ace, April, apt. Different answers would have popped out of everyone's head. Do you see where the problem is? Before children start going to school, every child is unique. Every child thinks different. But the education system makes every child think the same. This is the fundamental flaw in the education system. Why did this start? During the Industrial Revolution in the 18th century, the education system was designed to make children ready to work in factories. The factories did not require people to think, but to only work like robots. So, the education system stripped children of their freedom to think and destroyed their true potential. The same education system continues even today. Only the industries have changed. A study by NASA shows that 98% of children think different before they start going to school. As they go through this education system, at 25 years of age, only 2% think different, and 98% think the same. So how does the education system make every child the same? Let's go back to the apple example. Kindergarten lessons told us that A is for apple. We asked you for words that start with A. Our education system gave us the answers. We asked you a question. Answers make you the same. Questions make you different. Right from kindergarten, the education system keeps giving answers. Instead of asking children how plants make food, the science teacher gives you the definition of photosynthesis. Instead of asking them to describe the sun, the teacher tells them that the sun is a ball of fire at the center of the solar system. Through their years in school, children lose the capability to think on their own. Whether it is their choice of career or their relationship or any situation in life, they become.
So you can see how our education system keeps giving ready-made answers to the students and then asks the same thing in one way or the other in examination. Is that the purpose of education? Because our education system is outdated. It does not encourage thinking, innovation, and creativity amongst the students. And you will all agree that without creativity, there can be no progress. And we would be repeating the same thing. That is what is happening. So, we have to change. This was my article on crisis of innovation and creativity. This was in Times of India, the creativity crisis in the Indian education system. And recently I wrote an article in this Education Times that India should go for a two-track faculty system to transform higher education. What it means is that India should go for two-track faculty. Teachers should either specialize in teaching or in research. Everybody may not be good both at teaching and research. Both are full-time jobs. If you try to excel in both of them, the result is the average performance. Maybe in any college, in any university, in any department, 60% teachers may be focusing on teaching, 40% may be focusing on research. Those who are focusing on teaching, they will focus on high quality teaching, mentoring, curriculum development, assessment, etc. And those who are focusing on research, they will focus on publishing, research granting, awarding, guiding, PhD, etc. And even their promotions and assessment will be based on their specialized role. See, in many countries it happens. A teacher is appointed either for teaching or for research. If we do this, this could do much better in our country. So the strengths of this idea are we are able to better utilize our talent. The result will be teaching quality will improve and research output will also become strong. India should think for this idea. What do you think? You have to give it in the chat box. Do you agree? Then the next challenge is we need to impart quality higher education in India. Earlier, I defined what is quality education. Now the question is how to impart it. There, your role becomes very important. See, this is quality education, I told you. But how to impart it? In any education system, three things are very important. What do you teach? That is the curriculum. How do you teach? That is the pedagogy. And then how do you assess the student? That is the assessment. Now, there are two approaches to impart quality education. Traditionally, what we have been doing in our country, we have a syllabus-based education. There is a syllabus which teachers are supposed to finish. They follow teacher-centric pedagogy, talk and chalk method generally. But now the time has come, we need to shift to outcome-based education. And the pedagogy will change to learner-centric pedagogy. Learner-centric pedagogy means it is around the learners. Learners will do everything. This is going to be a big change in imparting quality education in the 21st century. Look at this slide, it will explain it better. In between is given quality education. One way is syllabus-based education. You finish the syllabus of knowledge, skills, personality, teacher-centric method. That is the traditional way. Outcome-based education is on the right side. Outcomes are the mixture of knowledge, skills, and personality. And the pedagogy is learner-centric pedagogy. Outcomes are what? They are the mixture of knowledge, skills, and personality traits. Now we have to shift from right side. So this is going to be a big change for all of you. We will talk in detail later on lectures, but this is the thinking behind outcome-based education. See, the difference in the two methods is, earlier the focus was on teaching. Okay, I finished my syllabus. Now the focus will be on outcomes. How you finish the syllabus, how you teach, that doesn't matter. The ultimate test will be whether the outcomes have been achieved in our students or not. Outcomes means what students can do as a result of your teaching. So skills are going to be more important. That's now the shift. Because, in our country, the irony is we still focus on well-filled mind. Keep on filling the minds of young people with more and more knowledge. What we actually need is a well-formed mind, a mind which is formed out of thinking, innovation, and creativity amongst the students. Era of rote learning is over. Please remember it. Real education is that which transforms the learners, brings about a transformation, just as a seed gets transformed to plant and plant gets transformed to tree. Similar transformation should occur in our students. So outcome-based education will try to achieve that. But it's very challenging. Philosophy looks very good, sound, but difficulty lies in its implementation. How you will implement outcome-based education. Teachers need to be trained. Curriculum need to be developed accordingly. Pedagogy has to be developed. So that is a big challenge. And through learner-centric education, learners will become active, highly independent and creative thinkers because they will be engaged in various activities. They will do everything on their own. Unlike teacher-centric pedagogy, where they are just sitting in the class and taking down the notes. Look at these universities, Harvard, Stanford, Wharton. In all these universities, the focus is more on case studies, experiential learning, project-based, problem-based learning, etc. Very little focus on lecture-based learning. That's why, it is said, if you teach today's student as you taught yesterday, you are going to rob them of tomorrow. You will have to change. This is another challenge for each one of you. Shift to learner-centric pedagogy. And then even assessment should also change. This is what even new education policy says. Assessment drives learning. The way you will assess students, they will start learning in that way. So it can be a good way to enhance the quality of education in the country. Assessment should focus on higher order thinking skill. This is a very important development now. सोचना जरूरी है. आजकल आप देखते होंगे अमिताभ बच्चन का एडवर्टीजमेंट आता है, कौन बनेगा करोड़पति में भी सोचना पड़ेगा. That is what we need to fix. Because learning is a 6-level hierarchy. It starts from remembering, understanding, application. It goes up to creativity. Our assessment generally focus on lower order thinking skills. But time has come where assessment should focus on higher order thinking skill. So this is going to be a big change. For all that, you need to have quality questions. You need to have such questions which discourage rote learning, which test conceptual clarity, which focus on thinking, innovation, and creativity, and which enhance problem solving and analytical ability. See, one thing you should think, what is the purpose of education? Through education, you learn many things. But what should be the ultimate purpose? Ultimate purpose should be to solve real world problems. If we are not able to do that, everything is theoretical, that is of no significance. Education should prepare you for meeting the challenges of life. Otherwise, it's not to reproduce what you have learned and test of rote memorization. No, that time is gone. And the next challenge which I want to tell you is that all of you will have to embrace technology and become tech savvy. This is another challenge for all of you, irrespective of your age group. Because it is difficult to imagine education without technology in the 21st century. Technology, you will all agree, has totally changed the way education is imparted. Therefore, all of you should become tech savvy. It's not optional, it is essential. It is essential for providing high quality education, meeting the needs of modern students, and preparing them for a technology-driven world. So, this is another challenge for all of you. But please remember, technology is only a tool. Don't let it become your master. It should remain your puppet. Your ingenuity blended with technology can do wonders. Your creativity, your vision, your problem-solving ability, etc., can truly unlock the potential of technology. So become tech-savvy, but taking it only as a tool. Don't let it become your master. And then technology is a journey. Now artificial intelligence is coming, which is redefining education in the world. Artificial intelligence is revolutionizing the way we teach, learn, and research. Everything is changing. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can see you have to become tech savvy, but see the importance of technology. It should be your teaching partner. It should not become your master. Look at this. Technology will never replace great teachers, but technology in the hands of great teachers can be transformational. You first become a great teacher, have a full command over the subject, and then become tech savvy. That combination can do wonders. This was my interview in Times of India. Technology won't replace teachers. And in the light of all what I have told, the roles of the teachers are also going to change now. Roles of the teachers are going to change significantly in the 21st century. That traditional roles are gone. You will have to become tech-savvy teachers. If your students are learning from MOOCs or e-learning, and if they have some queries, who will answer them? You must learn how to manage virtual classroom and discussion forum. You need to engage students by learner-centric pedagogy. These are the new pedagogies. You should be proficient in the development of e-content and MOOCs. So many MOOCs have been developed. They all have been developed by the teachers. Why not you? So digital content creator is a new role. See, there was a time when teacher was considered to be the only source of knowledge, but not now. Now there are so many sources of knowledge. Your role is like a facilitator of learning. From knowledge providers, you become a facilitator of learning. You help students learn. So this is the new role. So ladies and gentlemen, a change of mindset is also required. See how education system has changed. Just look at this. Don't think that what I know is enough. No, I must learn more. And look at the quote, a bird born in a cage think flying is an illness. You should come out of this mindset. And now I come to the last part, where I will also talk about some personality development tips for enhancing your competence. It's very unfortunate that we don't lay much emphasis on these tips, but they are the life deciding things. This slide I showed you. For competence in any profession, you need knowledge, skills, and personality. We will now focus on personality. Personality means a set of traits and behaviors that characterize an individual. Personality doesn't mean your looks. It has nothing to do with your physical appearance. And why personality is important? Look at this. 87% of all people fail, not because of capability, but because of personality. And the worst part is, they don't know that their own personality is coming in the way of their job performance. This is the worst part. Because personality development is unfortunately neglected in our country. Actually, personality traits provide the underlying resilience and drive needed to leverage knowledge and skills. You may be very knowledgeable, you may be very much skilled, but to leverage all of them, you need the right type of personality, which unfortunately is missing in our country. And personality, you will all agree, influences every aspect of human life. So I am going to give you some personality development tips in the form of life lessons. They can change your life still. Although these things now we are introducing even at school level. I've been involved in the writing of NCERT school books, 11th, 12th, etc. Even at school level, we are introducing these things. And it said life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. You have to understand that. Look at this picture, grand old lady telling little girl, life looks like an eternity, but actually it is just a short trip. You never know when the trip will be over. So learn the art of living. This is the first. Most people in this world only exist. Living has become rare. And art of living means capability to draw pleasure from life and to succeed in the greatest test called life. Life itself is a great test. You have to be successful in that. So that will come under art of living. And please remember, you only live once, but if you do it right, I think one is more than enough. So what are the tips for you? This is the number one tip. Be proactive in life. See, everyone chooses how to approach life. If you are proactive, you will focus on preparing. If you are reactive, you will end up focusing on repairing. The choice is yours. Proactive people are able to take initiative, they are able to make choices, and hence they are able to control outcomes. So be proactive in life. This is very, very important. Then come out of your comfort zone. Many people are not able to make much headway because they start living in a comfort zone. Oh, I am getting good salary. My husband or wife getting good salary and children are well set. So it's a comfort zone. Life actually begins at the end of your comfort zone. It's only after you have stepped out of your comfort zone that you begin to change, grow, and transform. So come out of your comfort zone, plan and manage your career, and then work hard sensibly. I know all of you must be very hardworking, but sensible is important. Sensible means what? Sensible means direction is more important than speed. Choose your direction very carefully. Of course, you are free to choose any direction. Nobody can stop you, but then you will not be free from the consequences of your choice. And then whatsoever choose, try to excel. Excellence should be the key word. In today's world, to be good is no longer enough. Look at the quote, a penguin can never be a giraffe. So try to be the best penguin you can be. Then resilient is also, while pursuing your goal, there may be setbacks, there may be failures. That's not the end of the world. Overcome failures and keep moving. Bounce back. See, it is said, we should do one thing every day that scares you. That will give you a lot of confidence. So resilient is very important. That will make you mentally strong. Then self-belief is another. Look at the quote. A bird sitting on a tree is never afraid of the branch breaking. Why? Because her trust is not in the branch, but in her own wings. So believe in yourself. Very important. Self-discipline is one of the most important things you should develop. Self-discipline means mastery over your thoughts. If you can control what you think, you can always control what you do. Because there is nothing in this world that can trouble you more than your own thoughts. Cages are not made of iron, they are made of thoughts. On an average, a person thinks 7,000 thoughts a day. So, self-control is very, very important. If you can learn self-control, you can master anything. See, brain is like an organ. Mind is like a software. Through practice, you can control it. Then be positive and honest. You don't need to announce to the world, nobody will bother. But always have positive thinking. Positive thinkers will have a solution for every problem, and negative thinkers will have a problem for every solution. And we meet such people in our day-to-day life. Then overcome the fear of failure. This is a very common fear in the minds of people. I may not fail. वो कहते हैं ना, जब तक तुम डरते रहोगे तुम्हारी जिंदगी के फैसले कोई और लेता रहेगा. Overcome fear of failure. And as it is said, by Bill Gates. If you are afraid of failure, you don't deserve to be successful. Failures can be the pillars of success depending on how you take them. Take them as a stepping stone, first attempt in learning. That's why, your attitude towards failure determines your altitude after failure. Again, mindset. See, mind is your greatest weapon. You can control it, you can control your life. Then stop worrying and start living. Worry is a common problem. Worry is a misuse of your imagination. You suffer more in imagination than in reality. It's a very common thing. So, one day you will look back and realize that you worry too much about things that don't really matter. But by the time you will realize, time would have gone. So what is the use? The best thing is worry about the things which are in your control. And what is in your control? Your attitude, your effort, your focus. These three things are in your control. Don't worry about the things which are out of your control. What will happen in future? What will be the outcome of my efforts? These are not in your hands. So why to bother about that? See this demarcation in your control and out of my control. Then control anger. Anger is a normal emotion. Everybody gets angry. But one thing you should remember, any person who can make you angry becomes your master. Whenever you get angry, think of this slide. The fire of anger burns you first. So if you are ready, then get angry. And one small advice, never say mean words out of anger. Your anger will pass, but your mean words can scare a person for life. Use either kind words or be silent. Very, very important. Many relations have been destroyed just because you happen to say something out of anger. And then psychology says, whenever you are angry, there is some fear in your mind. Beneath anger, there always lies some fear. And one very important lesson of life for all of you, results of anger are always more painful than the reasons of anger. Think over them. Results of anger are always more painful than the reasons of anger. And then never become arrogant. Sometimes, a small success goes into a person's head and the person becomes arrogant. No. Arrogance is the surest path to failure. वो कहते हैं ना, कभी किसी चीज का घमंड आ जाए तो शमशान का एक चक्कर लगा आना, तुमसे बेहतरीन लोग वहां राख बने पड़े. Yes, this is reality. Please remember, you are dust and to dust you will return. Keep this reality of life always in mind. And then time management is life management. This we should teach not only to ourselves but to our children. Manage your time. If today you are 40-year-old, all 40-year-old people have got the same time. The secret of success is how you manage your time. Try to maximize your performance in the shortest time. वो एक अमिताभ का कोट है ना, कल खो दिया आज के लिए, आज खो दिया कल के लिए, कभी जी ना सके हम आज के लिए, बीत रही है जिंदगी कल आज और कल के लिए. That's how the whole life passes. So please invest your time, don't spend it. See, in everybody's life, a stage comes when he wishes, I had more time. I wish I had more time. Then you realize the importance of time. And then every day is once in a lifetime. And every day is also the first day of the rest of your life. Please remember it. वो कहते हैं ना, यू डोंट नीड मोर टाइम, यू नीड फ्यूअर एक्सक्यूजेस. We make so many excuses. Time is enough. We don't utilize it properly. Look at this quote. बंदी हैं हाथ पर सबके घड़ियां, मगर पकड़ में किसी के एक लम्हा भी नहीं. And then time spares no one. No one. Look at this small 1 minute song. See, look at these pictures. All these were great actors, so much fan following. And look at their end, how it was. When I first time looked at this picture of Vinod Khanna, I could not believe that it is the same person. So time spares no one. You don't know what is in store for you in future. So the lesson is, what is the lesson from this? Live in the moment. The present moment is, the present moment is the only moment available to us, and it is the door to all moments. Life becomes more meaningful when you realize the simple fact that you will never get the same moment twice. Make the best, live only in the present. This slide itself can change your life. Focus on current, that's all. ये कोट कितना अच्छा है. मैं कल को तलाशता रहा दिन भर, और शाम होते होते मेरा आज भी चला गया. Just think about that. So, ladies and gentlemen, ये भी एक बड़ा अच्छा कोट है. मेरा कर्म ही मेरा भाग्य है. ऐसी सोच रखने वाला इंसान कभी हार ही नहीं सकता. देखिए, हम अनफॉर्चुनेटली बच्चों को ये चीजें नहीं पढ़ाते. ये लाइफ लेसन्स हैं. तभी तो वो सारे प्रॉब्लम्स भी आते हैं. So, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, your biggest competition is with you. You should become the master of your mind, not the puppet of your mind. Be your own king. And you are a king if you know how to rule yourself. This is the lesson for all of you. कहते हैं ना, you don't have the problem, you are the problem. Mindset, attitude is the problem. स्वर्ग भी तू है, नरक भी तू है. इन दोनों का फर्क भी तू है. जिंदगी छोटी नहीं होती, लोग जीना ही देरी से शुरू करते हैं. जब तक रास्ते समझ में आते हैं, तब तक तो लौटने का वक्त हो जाता है. And then it's never too late to be what you might have been. Still, you can change your life. You may be 40, 50, 60, whatsoever your age. Those years are gone. You cannot undo them. But still, you can make your life more purposeful, more meaningful. And all the challenges which I have told in this talk, they are the doorways to excellence. All these are the opportunities in disguise. वो एक बड़ा फेमस चाइनीज प्रोवर्ब है, when the winds of change blow, some people build walls while others build windmills. It's up to you how you make use of the opportunities. One day you will be just a memory for some people. Do your best to be a good one. And this is the last slide. जिंदगी के रंगमंच पर अपना किरदार इतनी शिद्दत से निभाएं कि पर्दा गिरने के बाद भी तालियां बजती रहें. जिंदगी नहीं मिलेगी दोबारा। थैंक यू वेरी मच, इट वॉज ए प्लेजर टॉकिंग टू यू। This is my email ID. This is my cell number. You can always be in touch. Any comment, any suggestion, any feedback, you can always write it in the chat box. Thanks once again for a very patient hearing and wish you all a great success. That you learn a lot from this 8 working day program. Thank you very much. Any comment, any suggestion, any question, you can always ask me. Write it in the chat box. Thanks for very, very nice comments from some of you. So you try to make the best use of your life. Make the best use of the time. और सबसे बड़ा अनफॉर्चुनेट है कि हम अपने एजुकेशन सिस्टम में इन चीजों पे कोई भी जोर नहीं देते। नॉलेज 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 नॉलेज, उससे वो एक डिस्टॉर्टेड पर्सनैलिटी डेवलप हो जाती है। बच्चे नॉलेजेबल होते हैं, स्किल्स की कमी है, पर्सनैलिटी ट्रेट्स की कमी है, हाउ टू लिव लाइफ इसकी कमी है, आर्ट ऑफ लिविंग मिसिंग है, तो वो फिर एक कंप्लीट ह्यूमन बीइंग नहीं बन पाते। एनीबॉडी, एनी कमेंट, एनी सजेशन? आप लोग तो बोलते भी नहीं हो, हाँ, ये भी बहुत अच्छी बात है। मैंने कहीं पर्सनैलिटी ट्रेट्स में लिखा था कि बोलो ही मत, लिखा था। मैं देखूंगा स्लाइड्स को दोबारा कि आपने कहीं लिख दिया गलती से कि बोलना ही नहीं, चाहे सर जितनी बार मर्जी पूछें, बोलना ही नहीं, क्योंकि बड़ों को जवाब नहीं देते। ये भी तो एक कारण हो सकता। एनीवे, जोक्स अपार्ट, सो आरती, वेयर आर यू? वेयर इज आवर moderator gone? She's also disappeared. So God. ये भी अच्छा है. So if she will not be there, then this lecture will not end. So we can continue with the second lecture. एक आप सबको ना एक फीडबैक फॉर्म भी मिलेगा हर एक लेक्चर के बाद। 16 लेक्चर हैं तो 16 लेक्चर के बाद हर एक के बाद एक फीडबैक फॉर्म होता है, where you have to fill what are the most important takeaways from this. Be very honest, be very bold. It is helpful to us. एक ने पूछा कि हाउ कैन वी इन्फ्यूज वैल्यूज इन आवर चिल्ड्रन। देखिए, कई कंट्रीज ऐसी हैं जहां पर कि बचपन में पहले 4-5 साल तक बच्चों को वैल्यूज, एटीट्यूड, बिहेवियर ही सिखाया जाता है, क्योंकि ये फाउंडेशंस होती हैं आपकी पर्सनैलिटी। जापानीज लोगों को देखो कितने रिस्पेक्टफुल होते हैं। एक आदमी ने कहीं, मैं पढ़ रहा था, लिखा कि जापान में तो किसी से कुछ पूछना भी गलत बात है, क्योंकि मैंने कभी किसी से पूछ लिया कि इस जगह पर कैसे जाना है, तो वो आदमी मेरे साथ ही चल पड़ के वहां तक मुझे छोड़ के आ गए। इतने वो कर्टियस लोग हैं। तो मेरा कहने का मतलब है, ये भी चीजें हमें अपने बच्चों को सिखानी चाहिए, क्योंकि वो जमाना अब बिल्कुल चला गया है जहां पर कि नॉलेज पे जोर होता था। आज मैंने एक आर्टिकल टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया में लिखा है In the age of artificial intelligence, why should students come to class? ऐसी कौन सी चीज है जिसके लिए वो क्लास में आएंगे, जबकि नॉलेज तो 1 मिनट में बड़ी अच्छी आपको कई सोर्सेज से मिल जाती है। तो रोल्स ऑफ द टीचर्स भी बदल रहा है, स्किल्स के ऊपर ज्यादा जोर आपको देना पड़ेगा। So anyway, thank you very much. And Aarti is there? I think our moderator has disappeared. So, but she's saying yes, sir. Aarti, where are you? Achha, perhaps she's saying I am unable to unmute. Okay. I think something wrong at the technical sides. She is not able to unmute herself and speak. Anyway, I will close the session here, and as is normally the practice, we give you a 15-minute break. Our next session will start at 6:45. So that will be from 6:45 to 8:15. In that program, we will have the inaugural session also, and then the second session by Professor Vimal Rar. So thank you very much for your patient hearing, and now we break for this 15-minute break. Meet you exactly at 6:45. Thank you very much.
हेलो। हेलो मैम, एक्चुअली मैं को होस्ट हूँ इसमें। और
मम्मी मैं थोड़ी मिस्टेक कर ली।
अपन दो दिन में ऑनलाइन दिखता सदन तो डाल दी इंटरनेट पे देखना सदन डाल के അത് ചെയ്തൊന്ന് കൊടുക്കും. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇതിൽ നോക്കി യൂട്യൂബിൽ എങ്ങനെ ചെയ്യണമെന്ന് അവർ പറഞ്ഞു തരും, ഏത് രീതിയിൽ ചെയ്യണം. നമുക്ക് സമയം കിട്ടുന്ന
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please. Okay. So, good evening, each and everyone, and I'll request my team to be please making all the collaborating institutions heads as co-host. Hope it is done. Can I look at Professor Sanjay Chitnis, sir?
Yes, yes.
Sir is there. Similarly, Dr. B.L. Shivkumar, Principal of Sri Ramakrishna College of Arts Science, and Dr. Sejpal Singh from Guru Nanak Dev Engineering College, Ludhiana. If they have not joined, I'll request my team to please make them co-host as and when they join.
Yes, good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, sir is here.
Acha, sir is
जी
there.
जी जी
Good
हाँ
evening.
जी हाँ जी
Welcome again, sir. Please, yeah. Thank you.
Good evening,
So,
ma'am.
yeah, good evening.
This is Dr. Padvin Banu. I'm joining on behalf of Dr. B.L. Shivkumar, sir.
Okay,
Yeah,
Dr. Praveen.
yeah.
Welcome, please. Yeah.
Thank you.
So let me begin the proceedings. Let me share my screen and please make me also co-host. Yeah, done. So, good evening, everyone, and a very warm welcome on this rainy day in Delhi, from where I'm touching base to all of you, and having different weathers in different parts of our lovely country, India. I, Vimal, welcome each one of you in the 61st batch of NEP Orientation and Sensitization Program. Starting from today, 4th August, we'll continue our co-learning journey till 14th August 2026. This program is being conducted in the flagship banner of UGC Malvi Mission Teacher Training Center, a center at HTTP Khalsa College, University of Delhi. And this is a center of Ministry of Education and UGC under the program at the national level, Malvi Mission Teacher Training Program. So I welcome you on behalf of Ministry of Education and UGC, as well as my own premier institution, Shri Guru Tegh Bahadur Khalsa College, University of Delhi. And this particular batch we are doing in collaboration with three esteemed institutions of our country, Reva University from Bangalore, with whom we are conducting this fourth batch. Also, we are having collaboration with Sri Ramakrishna College of Arts and Science from Coimbatore and Guru Nanak Dev Engineering College from Ludhiana, Punjab. Any program we start, we seek blessings from Guru Angad Dev Ji, the second of 10 Sikh Gurus, in whose name we have kept this center's name. And from 2016, we are trying to handhold each other, all the teachers, learning newer technologies, learning newer pedagogies, and also looking at our roles and responsibilities in this higher education space, understanding the new policy documents coming, and much more. And this entire program is, as I told, it is being done under Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya mission of teachers training, which earlier it was PMMM NMTT, and now it has been renamed since 2023 as Malviya Mission Teacher Training Program. And this has been named in the honor of Bharat Ratna Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya ji. So remembering this pious soul on starting of every program, who instituted institutions like Banaras Hindu University, a legacy left. And all this is being done in the leadership of our Prime Minister Modi ji. So let us seek, I welcome each one of you with this virtual bouquet of flower, especially starting from all my colleagues who are joined here as participants, amongst whom there are many administrators, teachers, as well as research scholars from different parts of our country. And three batches coming from three institutions as collaboration. I welcome the leadership of all these three, starting from Professor Sanjay R. Chitnis ji, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Reva University, Bangalore. Dr. B.L. Shivkumar, Principal of Sri Ramakrishna College of Arts and Science, Coimbatore. Dr. Sejpal Singh and Dr. Harpreet Kaur and all the entire collaborating team on behalf of this, I welcome each one of you. And this team is from Guru Nanak Dev Engineering College, Ludhiana. In my own center's continued journey from more than a decade now, I am blessed to have mentoring of first of all, blessings of Padam Bhushan Siddharth Alojan Singh sir, who is the chairman governing body at SGTB Khalsa College. And because of his support and the entire management support, we are taking this national initiative in a college, which perhaps there are not many, and rather we are the front runners in all the around 150 centers. And our two eminent academicians as mentors, Professor Ved Prakash sir, former chairman UGC, and Professor A.K. Bakshi sir, founder VC PDM University, Bahadurgarh, whom you heard just now. Professor Ved Prakash sir will also be joining for a series of sessions. I also welcome you on behalf of Professor Gurmohinder Singh, Principal of HTTP Khalsa College, Delhi University, who has sent greetings to all of you and best wishes for this particular entire organizing team, Professor Sarita Pasi from Zakir Hussain Delhi College, DU, Dr. Aarti Dubey from Viva College, Virar, Maharashtra, Dr. Sagar, Dr. Nikhil from Reva University, Bangalore, Mr. Devram and Dr. Mani from Sri Ramakrishna College of Arts and Science, Coimbatore, and Dr. Rajveer Kaur and Professor Randhir Singh from Guru Nanak Dev Engineering College, Ludhiana. I'm looking forward to your great contribution and thanks for helping us out. Let us all pray to the Almighty to have blessings on all of us. We started this center in 2016 for training of teachers, and it's a small compact, but yet making ripples across the country because of the sincere effort of the entire team of resource persons and mentors and others who are associated with this center. As a journey towards this, we started at the national level the development of e-content and books when we started Center for E-Learning and decided to have our own studio rather than uh, outsourcing it to the vendors, which was the model for other EPG Pathshala content. And we started this in 2013. And from 2013 to 2017, we developed 89 PG level courses, which are now, many of these are coming at the 4th year undergraduate level, and also module wise, they are very useful. So all of you, please, you can visit on inflibnet.ac.in. We contributed in these 6 subjects, but there are total of 77 subjects available on Inflibnet website where you can benefit. We have also prepared more than 50 MOOCs, out of which 42 MOOCs we prepared for EPG Pathshala. And this was the largest contribution when the first phase of MOOCs was launched by UGC. Then out of the 63 PG level MOOCs, 42 has been contribution from our center. During this massive project associated with more than 2,000 of teachers, we realized teachers are lacking digital skills and need to be handholded in terms of the technology embracement. And there, the idea of requesting Ministry of Education to provide us a center under the PMMM NMTT scheme, which we proposed in 2015, and we got, in spite of that, the scheme was not even open for state universities. Leave a college, I applied from a college. But then looking at the merit, and I'm so thankful to this big opportunity provided. It's not a college center, it's an entire country center by the teachers and for the teachers. And from 2016 to 20, we were doing face-to-face program, but the teachers who wanted to learn, we were motivating, but was still negligible. What we really saw a push happening in terms of technology embracement by teachers happened in the Corona time. And that was the time when we had struggling all with no students in front of us, how to go ahead. And our team took efforts. And when this was also the phase, the funding for the training program stopped from 1st April, and we were told to go into self-sustainable. I'm thankful to all the collaborating institutions who understood the need of the time to embrace technology. And I'm happy to share that out of more than 100 centers, only a few could survive that. And we were front runners in evolving the online programs. From 2016 to 2020, we had 9,000 participants plus. In April 2020, more than 1,14,000 we touched. I am happy to share recently we crossed 1,25,000 figure. And now this new name given to us, earlier we were called as Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center, and now it is UGC-MMTTC. And there were actually two types of centers, one coming from PMMM NMTT, which were the projects based on the merit and the earlier UGC HRDCs. And now all of them are called as Malve Mission Teacher Training Centers and have the mandate for training teachers into various fronts, which are recognized for the career advancement schemes. And more than that, more than the points other, it's a lifelong learning journey that we all have to be undertaking. So not only our centers, programs. So you should regularly visit this site mmc.ugc.ac.in, where you also are all registered and you can benefit from different programs. This phase of the scheme aims to implement the recommendation of National Education Policy, namely to improve the quality of teaching at all levels and in all domains, to focus on equity and inclusion in higher education and promote online and digital education, to ensure equitable use of technology, to promote Indian language and culture, to develop basic infrastructure facilities, to create awareness about gender sensitization, to include vocational education in the curriculum, to develop leadership and management skills, to create pool of mentors and pedagogic experts, and to promote research and multidisciplinary education. So the vision of this new phase of in higher education in India is to build competencies in the faculty for better teaching, learning, and research by exposing them to Indian values, updating knowledge and skills, and aligning teaching, learning, and research with the needs of the society and NEP 2020. So, all our programs are oriented towards this vision. We not only conduct the NEP orientation and sensitization program, but we also conduct 1 month rigorous faculty induction program, which is compulsory for the entry-level faculties. We also conduct 1 week faculty development programs and 2 weeks refresher courses. Refresher courses are more aligned to the subject specific. On 17th August, we have a refresher course lined up for the English faculty. And I'm happy to share in both the financial year 24-25 and 25-26, when this new scheme was rolled out, under the earlier PMMM NMTT centers, we are the only good rated center, and our reach is pan-India. It is not simply where we are located, but we do outreach to various institutions and conduct training programs looking at the specific needs of the institution as well. So in this NEP orientation and sensitization program, the modules have been designed by the inputs coming from various quarters, including Ministry, UGC, and the committee where I was a part at the earlier 2023 stage, as well as in the review and the next phase, which will be rolled out in September. We have made some difference, especially in terms of the faculty induction program and refresher courses will no longer be online, they will be offline only. So in this particular NEP, these are the 10 modules that will be covered, some in one, some in 2 or 3 sessions, depending upon how we have the speakers and to avoid the overlap as far as possible. So these modules are holistic and multidisciplinary education, Indian knowledge system and multilingualism, academic leadership, governance and management, higher education and society, research and development, skill development, student diversity and inclusive education, information and communication technology, autonomy to the institution and choice to the students, curriculum development, pedagogy and assessment. And before I tell you some more important information to complete this, I will request our collaborating institutions head or representatives to please give their remarks as we begin this program. So first of all, I will request Professor Sanjay Chitnis ji, sir, or if sir is not there, someone from Reva University to please come forward. Nikhil, who is from Reva?
I'll just check. Sir was online.
Yeah. Dr. Sagar, are you there?
There is Dr. Ravi Shankar H. Reva University in the participants.
Yeah. Good evening, sir, and welcome, please. Yeah.
Should I ask Ravi Shankar sir to unmute?
Yeah.
He's left.
Acha, he left.
Give me a
Okay.
moment, ma'am. I'll check, ma'am.
Dr. Nikhil? Yeah, just check out. Or meanwhile, we can request Dr. Shiv Kumar, Principal of Sri Ramakrishna College of Arts and Science, Coimbatore.
He's not in the participants.
Good evening, ma'am. I'm Dr. Parveen Banu.
Yeah, sorry, I missed it
Come
out.
to,
Dr. Praveen,
yeah,
please, yeah.
represent Ramakrishna. So shall we start now?
Yeah, please. Yeah, go ahead. Welcome, please. Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am. Good evening to all the distinguished dignitaries, esteemed organizers, respected faculty members and participants. सभी सम्मानित अतिथियों, आयोजकों, शिक्षकों और प्रतिभागियों को मेरा सादर नमस्कार. On behalf of Sri Ramakrishna College of Arts and Science, Autonomous Coimbatore, we express our gratitude to the UGC Malavia Mission, Teacher Training Center, MMTTC, Ministry of Education, Government of India, SGTB Khalsa College, University of Delhi, for providing us with this wonderful opportunity to organize and to be a part of this prestigious NEP orientation and sensitization program. This program is organized in collaboration with Sri Ramakrishna College of Arts and Science, Autonomous, a premier co-educational institution located in Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu. We extend a heartfelt appreciation to Professor Vimal Rao, Director, UGC-MMTTC, SGTB Khalsa College, University of Delhi, whose constant guidance, encouragement, and support made this valuable collaboration possible. We are honored to present our Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. And we are honored to present our institution and share our journey of academic excellence with you today. I take this opportunity to thank Dr. B.L. Shivakumar, Principal and Secretary, for providing me an opportunity to present the college. Sri Ramakrishna College of Arts and Science was established in 1987. The college received 2F and 12B recognition in 1998 and was awarded autonomous status in 2004. We have secured 76th rank in NIRF, and this is our 5th consecutive year in the top 100. SRCAS has been accredited with A+ grade in the 4th NAC cycle, and its autonomous status has been extended for another 10 years up to 2031-32. And we are CIRO recognized and ISO certified institution. And the college has received funding through DBT Star College and DST FIST. The institution offers 32 undergraduate, 10 postgraduate, 11 research, and 3 PG diploma programs, most of which are integrated with industries like L&T, MAC, IBM, TCS Ion, ACCA, and Agentic Singapore. The college now has over 7,300 students and 312 qualified faculty. Our faculty crew have published 350 plus Scopus indexed, 150 plus Web of Science indexed, and 1,500 plus UGC articles in national and international journals. Our faculty have authored 400 plus books, written 750 plus book chapters, and have presented 1,000 plus articles in conference proceedings. And we have published 119 patents and 27 granted patents. So far, the institution has received rupees 1.33 crores funds from AICT, UGC, ICSSR, ICPR, ICWA, and TNSCST. Our collaboration with national and international organizations prepares our students for the global stage with refined attributes. Our students have set records in competitive exams, sports, participate in Republic Day Parade more than a decade, win national and international level hackathons, cultural events, etc. Driven by a legacy of excellence and a commitment to quality, research, innovation, and industry relevance, Sri Ramakrishna College of Arts and Science continues to empower learners, foster meaningful collaborations, and shape future-ready graduates. धन्यवाद. आइए हम सभी मिलकर इस धान्यवर्तिक सत्र के आगे बढ़ाए, नए विचारों को जाने और उनसे प्रेरणा प्राप्त करें. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Praveen, for not only welcoming everyone, giving this motivational speech, but also telling the great contribution that your institution is doing for the cause of the society and preparing our students in a holistic manner. So congratulations, and please pay my regard and gratitude to your entire management and the leadership and fellow colleagues as well. Thank you.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
And now I will request the representation from Guru Nanak Dev Engineering College, Ludhiana, Punjab. Harpreet ji, I think.
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. I also join Professor Vimal in extending you hearty welcome to this program. ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਿਆਰ ਅਤੇ ਸਤਿਕਾਰ ਸਹਿਤ ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ. I am Professor Dr. Mrs. Harpreet Kaur Garewal, and presently I am heading Department of Applied Sciences at Guru Nanak Dev Engineering College, Ludhiana. I am grateful to my principal sir who has given me this opportunity to represent my college in this program. Before moving further, let me acknowledge and let me be thankful and grateful to Government of India, as well as the organizing team, UGC, GTB College, New Delhi, under the Delhi University campus. We are thankful to you for providing us this platform where we are going to learn not the administrators, but the teachers also. They are going to learn a lot regarding the NEP and its orientation and the sensitization program, which you are going to conduct from, I think, from 4th to 14th of August through various modules and lecture sessions. We are thankful to you that you have given us this opportunity. Regarding my college, I would like to share with you all that Guru Nanak Dev Engineering College is 70 years old. It's carrying its legacy, and it is serving the one particular section of society, that is the rural students. From past 70 years, it is providing the technical, affordable, good quality technical education to the rural students. And we presently have 7 engineering branches and a few other undergraduate courses like BCom, BBA, BCA, and master's programs too. And we are also having architecture college under our premises, that is B Architecture, School of Architecture, and B Vocational in Interior Design. We are also running various master's programs as well as PhD programs. And I am also very feeling proud to share with you all that our college is NEP accredited with A grade, and we are having engineering programs which are NBA accredited, and we are also ISO certified college, and our college is running very good, you can say, the research facilities are also there, and we are carrying out the PhD programs under various departments and centers, and our placements are, no doubt, they are very good, and our alumni are throughout world. They are having their names, and they have served the nation at various government and private various government institutions and private institutions. They have done very good, and every time our alumni, they are there, and it is their legacy that they don't forget the future generations which are further joining the college, and they always take care of them. And this is our most strongest point, that our alumni, they always fund the students, and they take the students along with them and help them in the settlement. So that's about my college. I am thankful once again to the SGTB college that who have given us this opportunity to be with you all. And I am sure that this program is going to be a very success. And me myself will learn a lot from this session and from this program. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Harpreet ji, Satyakal ji, and we have a
Ma'am,
special
Sat Shri
connection
Akal.
also being the
Hello.
sister institutions. Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am. Yes, good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, our principal sir is also here.
Please, yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
सर कहाँ
I
पे
think
है?
sir
If you like
unmute
to-
नहीं कर पा रहे हैं जी.
नाम बताइए, we will make
Ma'am,
him
Dr. Sahajpal Singh ji.
हाँ देखिए जरा who is there
Good
in the
evening.
technique.
Hello.
Yes, sir, audible. Yeah.
Am I audible?
हाँ जी,
Yes, sir.
नमस्ते sir, please welcome. Yeah. You're audible, sir.
Okay, good evening to all the participants and organizers, respected Professor Bimal and her team. I'm very thankful that our college has been associated with this prestigious program of UGC, that is MMTTC, and Shri Guru Tegh Bahadur Khalsa College, Delhi University. So this program is very significant for all teaching faculty because NEP is one of the important initiatives of Government of India, and it is going to have large impact on our education system. So this program is very useful for all the participants because all the teachers have this responsibility of improving their teaching methods and pedagogical practices and improving curriculums. So NEP awareness is very important for institutions and for the teachers. So I'm happy that many teachers of our college are participating in this program, and I am very sure that this program will give us a lot of information and awareness for improving our curriculum. At the same time, we will come to know about the latest developments which are being taken in this NEP 2020. So in these days, this is more important because in AICT and UGC, they are giving mandatory, they are giving mandates to implement NEP 2020 in their curriculums. So while implementing various aspects of NEP 2020, we need to have this awareness. So most importantly, when we go for NBA accreditation, NAC accreditation, these type of NEP awareness programs are very, very essential, and we get a lot of benefits if we implement NEP 2020 policies. So I congratulate the organizers, and I am very thankful that SG Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Khalsa College has allowed us to participate in this prestigious program. And I'm very thankful to Professor Bimal and her whole team that they are giving these type of programs to the teaching fraternity. And I wish all the participants best learning during this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. And we are also eagerly looking forward to great interactions from your faculty where we will also learn in the process. So thank you for joining and looking forward to even further collaboration. And now I will request Professor Sanjay Chetnisji, who is joining. I think this is the fourth batch with you, sir. It's a personal as well as overall delight for you having again with us and sending another batch of teachers to this program. And over to you, sir, for your inaugural remarks, please.
Yeah, so thanks actually, in fact, to give opportunity for us to be co-organizers as well as for faculty to attend this. We want to really cover all our faculty attending this very, very useful program, right? So thanks, Professor Vimal Ravji and whole team from GAO, MMTC, UGC, etc. Right? So talking about education, right? I got this very important and nice quote which summarizes, in fact, NEP from Guru Angad Dev Ji. So he said, salvation can only be gained by education and knowledge and not by futile acts or rituals, right? So whole idea of educational knowledge is not just for getting jobs or some basic thing. It's about salvation, right? Also, he mentioned make fear out of fear, hands out of love, and eyes out of education, right? So that's also a very interesting thing to be thought-provoking. And I think you will get better understanding of NEP if we understand these lines. In terms of his work, I know he did a lot of things in terms of standardizing Gurumukhi itself so that people get access to that. And also the equity part NEP, right? So taking education to the masses, right? So he did a lot of work in terms of education centers, schools, and so it's really amazing what he has built. So it's very apt that your institute is actually leading this event, right? Coming to overall context, right, where we are working in India and why this is very important. So if you see the era of AI, right, the way it is coming, it's going to have massive impact, not only on type of jobs, the way we work, the way we earn, the way geopolitics is going to be there. The China and US are leading so much that there is a gap which is increasing, right, in terms of the chipset, the AI tools, the kind of education they have. You might have seen recently the education reforms China has made, right? So it is unfortunately might increase the gap between what we are today and where these two leading countries are, right? So it is very, very important for us to catch up with that, do our best so that we retain our freedom, etc. Right? So it has come to the survival level thing. It's not just question of creating the jobs, etc. Right? So having said that, coming to jobs itself, because that's a very important aspect of education, right? The first step which parents and students look for. We should have job creators that we all talk, but do we have job neutrality? Right, that's a question I think all of us faculty have to think about. By job neutrality, I mean number of jobs created by a university system and number of jobs our students are seeking, right? If we are deficit, that means we are relying on uneducated people from industry to provide job to educated people, right? And currently it is so, right? Currently, educated people, they are looking for more jobs than they are creating, right? This gap actually talks about our education, that we are not even able to create enough jobs to education system. So at least that basic thing has to happen. One of the corollary of that is students should be able to learn to earn. So learning is not just the textbooks or writing exams. Whatever we teach, suppose we are teaching computer science engineering, right? Are you able to hear me? Okay. So are they able to earn while studying? At least are they able to earn their fees? Right? That's a basic question. If they're able to earn the fees when they're studying, then definitely they will be able to provide jobs after doing, right? This may look quite challenging, but we don't have any option for that, right? So we have to strive, use whatever is in NEP. It's excellent, actually, right? The not only policy document, it's actually a roadmap for education in India, right? So we have to really wholeheartedly understand that, but use that to solve these two problems, right? One problem is how to make our students ready for AI era so that geopolitically think we are not behind China or USA and we retain our freedom. Second thing is how to have that remove that job deficit, like university people creating more jobs than this, right? So my sincere request to all the educators to work on this through NEP and use this training, which is really excellent. We are very, very eminent people, understand that, write down. So after 10 years, if I ask, what did you study in this week? You should be able to tell at least 5 points, right? So make sure that much you assimilate. So thank you again for organizing this great session and all the best for the students. And we are really looking forward to transformation through this course. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chitnisi, and I'm sure you have interacted with the earlier batches of teachers who came to us, and I'll require your honest feedback on that as well.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
you rightly mentioned about that we have to be preparing our student as entrepreneurs. Unless or until they are job creators, we will be having the deficit. And also, once they are accomplished, then giving back to the society. I think that's where you beautifully connected with the preachings of Guru Angad Dev Ji, and that's where we aptly put up the center's name as Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center to start with, and now it is GAD-MMTTC. And in our space also, I think we should be learning all this with a very sincere approach as a lifelong learner for all of us, I'm saying as a teachers, because the school education also is undergoing overhaul, and it becomes our duty that we have to do the hand holding of our school colleagues, and that cannot happen unless or until we all take this as a mission. And that's where I think I'm also looking forward to the next step from all of you. So it's not only about preparing you as a better teacher in your classroom for your immediate roles, but nurturing the entire society in our class, and making a good version. If you look at some flaws, try to resolve them. So the holistic approach, when we try to prepare our students, we also have to be preparing ourselves and do our bit in that part. So with these words, I'm thankful to all our collaborating institutions, and thanks for collaboration with us. Let me take this further in terms of the important information that I have to provide you. This particular batch will be done with some breaks in between. So what are the days? Because there will be 8 days, 2 sessions each. So 4th, 5th, then 6th we are keeping off. 7th, 8th, 9th is Sunday. Then 10th, 11th, 12th we are again kept off. And then 13th and 14th August from 5 to 8:15 p.m. There will be 2 quizzes which will be released in your WhatsApp group, and that will be on Sunday, 16th August. So there is ample time to go through, but please keep on making notes because there will be 3 takeaways in every feedback session. So overall, if you look at the program completion parameters, although there will not be any grades mentioned, because when we made the guidelines, it was to take everyone, including the senior management, to be aware on this front. And let me tell you, after September, we are stopping this program. We'll be integrating these into our regular programs. So apart from the attendance, which you have to attend with your videos on, and please, automatic attendance will be taken. Just writing in the chat and leaving out is not going to work. Minute to minute, second to second attendance is automatically taken by Zoom. Please register with your registered name or email ID. These are the only 2 way which you will recognize. So if you have borrowed someone else's phone or using your phone where you have not put up your name, please rename yourselves. That is number 1, and then we'll be able to compile that. Apart from that, there are 2 quizzes, and overall the qualifying marks are 50. And this particular program is equivalent to 1 week FDP for the CAS or the promotion requirements also. So this is how the quiz layout will be, but that doesn't matter so much because both the quizzes will be released on the same day, and you can do. And every session, there will be session-wise feedback. Don't miss to fill this. And you have to mention 3 takeaways in each feedback form, and there will be 1 overall feedback form as well. This is how the certificate will look like as per the ministry's format. And if you have not yet joined the WhatsApp link because of some or the other reason, please, you can scan this and get joined, because there will be some information which you like to interact with us. Or if you have any query or some difficulty, then you can please ask in the WhatsApp group. My team is there who will be there helping you out. And if you see there is no response coming, even I am there in the group, you're most welcome to put a WhatsApp directly to me, but please, I will request, don't call to any whether of our team. They are all constantly there. We will get back to you. Fine. So with this one disclaimer I will like to make before we start with the second session is the copyright of all the session is of the respective speaker. The center has no role into that. And other important thing which I will request all of you is when you interact, please be cautious of the use of any term or the language please, we have to be very sensitive around all our colleagues and entire society. So requesting you that. And also from speaker's point of view, also, I will request that if there is some inadvertent some mistake in terms of information, or if something is not used correctly, the onus will go entirely on the speaker. The center will not be associated with those comments. So with these words, now I will request my team to take it further, and then we'll start the next session. Who
Good
is
evening, ma'am.
moderating today?
Yes, ma'am. Dr. Aarti Dubey here, ma'am.
Yeah, Dr.
For the
Aarti, yeah.
second.
Over to you, please.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am. Let me share my screen. So today we have our respected Professor Vimal ma'am with us for the second session. It is my great privilege to introduce Professor Vimal Rahar ma'am. Professor Vimal Rahar ma'am is the director of UGC-MMTTC, GAD-MMTTC, a center of UGC and the Ministry of Education, GOI. Professor, Department of Chemistry, Shri Guru Tegh Bahadur Khalsa College, Coordinator, National Resources Center of the Chemistry of MHRD. Professor Vimal Rahar ma'am is a leading woman entrepreneur in the field of e-learning with an experience of more than 30 years, including a decade of the experience in the corporate e-learning world. She is amongst the pioneers in the implementing ICT in higher education in the country. She has to her credit many research papers, patent, books, presentation, projects, and the invited talks at local, national, and the international forums. In the field of e-learning, Professor Harman has made a mark at the national level in the various activities such as the development of the e-content, development of the MOOCs, empowerment of the teachers in ICT skills, introduction of the newer teaching methodologies, etc. As a conceptualizers of the innovative teachers e-kit, she had made a seminal contribution in the designing 4-quadrant format of the e-content for EPG Pathshala project of the UGC. She has also authored around 400 modules of the e-content in the 4-quadrant format and developed and run around 20 MOOCs as a principal coordinator, cum course coordinator. Under her stewardship, Vimal Rahar ma'am, had the GAD-TLC, now renamed as the UGC-MMTTC of the Ministry of Education. Government of India has trained more than 100 teachers from across the state since 2016. She has developed e-content for the 89 courses under EPG Pathshala project. Besides, she has also developed more than 50 MOOCs in the 4-quadrant formats for SWAMP platform. She has been a coordinator of the National Resource Center of Chemistry of the MHRD, Government of India from 2018 to 2020 for developing ARPIT courses, which proved to be a huge success in the term of both enrollment of the teachers and the quality of the content. In fact, her center was rated among the top center by the Ministry of Education. She has been contributing in policy making at the national level through various UGC committees in areas such as online courses, regulations 2018, e-governance, National Academic Depository NAD, approval of courses in the open and the distance learning, National Education Alliances in the Technology and EAT of the AICTE. To name a few, she has also been serving on the expert committee of the MMTTP scheme at the UGC for making guidelines for all 116 MMTT centers in the country. Currently, Professor Vimal Rahar has been serving as a member of the task force for the formulating the Karnataka state education policy for online and the distance education. Professor Rahar ma'am has been conferred with the various awards like the INSA Best Teacher Award 2020, Entrepreneur Award by the Ministry of Education, Bahrain Tahli Ratna Award, Entrepreneur Innovators Award, to name a few. She was also felicitated by Srimati Smriti Zubin Irani ma'am, Ministry of Education, Government of India, for her important contribution in organizing massive teacher training programs in the country. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Aarti, for the kind words of introduction. What I propose to do in my 3 sessions, I'll take you to the journey of a very important role as teachers, which will be implementing and designing is the curriculum development, then the teaching learning methodologies into our classroom through the pedagogies that we implement, and the assessment. And what you'll see, this entire program, the other speakers will be touching upon the other modules, and many of them will be also integrated. So I'll not go into depth of that, but focusing on these 3 areas, let me proceed. So I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. So I am looking at your chats, and I'll also be interacting with you, and any thoughts coming, please keep on writing. What we have to now restructure from institution point of view as well as inside our classrooms is we have almost all the institutions who have adopted NEP, and some are in the process. If we have already taken cognizance of National Credit Framework, we look into this from a quality enhancement purpose that has to be continuously changed. Fine. So how the National Credit Framework will be used to make the overall framework for our students' program. Once we have these 3 or 4 year programs, then every semester has different courses. All these courses, the curriculum has to be aligned to outcome-based education. It's not the first time in India we are talking about this or after NEP. No. AICT implemented this after the NBA signed a treaty with Washington Accord in 2014. But there are so many perspectives that we have to look. And this part actually I evolved in greater depth when I worked in AICT's committee for book writing for all the engineering and polytechnic courses, where the template I designed. So I'll be giving you insights about what needs to be changed, looking at that inside our teaching learning practices as well. So the COPO mapping, not just a documentary process, but the COPO mapping where the learning outcomes and the assessments are going hand in hand, and they do the qualitative enhancement, and that's where subject specific as well as generic learning outcomes both have to be taken together. A teacher may say, we get ready-made curriculum. Many times we don't have a role. But then whatever the curriculum is, then also you are the real change maker inside your classroom. And that will entirely depend upon how you are integrating the learner-centric models, how you're taking the empowerment of ICT and adopting the blended learning model. So we'll focus some time on this, although there will be some glimpses, trailers of hands-on session as well by another speaker, and also on the learner-centric, and the entire ICT module will be taken by Professor Bakshi as well as Sinha sir. The moment we talk about blended learning cannot be implemented in a qualitative manner unless or until you have the empowerment of digital content. And now there is so much emphasis on preparing the e-content and how this e-content can be so much empowering your blended learning. And as you prepare yourself in this direction, you can be now offering online courses in your institutions and MOOCs. There are many online courses already there, but the quality is a big question mark. So very briefly, I will touch base on this, although our team has expertise and we do many 2 weeks programs also on just this theme as well. Then we will be also touching upon the multiple assessment methods that we have to adopt. They have to be scientific and technology empowered. And it's not that once made for 20 years, we'll keep our eyes shut. No, every batch passes out, will give us input. We'll do the gap analysis of the COPO mapping, look at what are the areas where we have not been able to put efforts in the form of meaningful activities which are integrated with assessments and meeting the program outcomes. And also in the light of periodic review of the ever-changing needs of the society. Right now in the inaugural address by Professor Chatnisi mentioned about the AI integration, how China is introducing the AI in even class 3rd. And if we lag behind, it's not merely the job or not, it is our survival attitude, and we have to be changing our curriculum on a regular basis. So let us look at this journey, and first of all, let's talk about this National Credit Framework. And my question to all of you, have you read about this NCRF document? Yes or no? Anyone? Have you read this document, National Credit Framework? So please, you should do that. But the main aspect touching my topics, I'll be taking it further. Okay, thanks for this honest reply. Yeah. So I will also like to connect with Professor Ved Prakash sir and Professor Bakshi sir when they will be going into different topics, that education serves its purpose only when it meets the changing needs of the society. And the changes are so very pertinent. And trying to reflect upon with these two visuals. And when we were students, we perhaps had no computers, no mobiles. And now these gadgets are so handily available with our students. Industry 4.0, Industry 5.0, and there is a race going on between education and industry, and it is not going to slow down. It's going to be accelerating, and that too exponentially. And technology has changed the way education is imparted. But let me take you back from where we can recall the changes happening. What was the plight of the teachers at that time? We say, why should we change? Why did the teachers of this era changed from this scenario to this scenario? Can we go back? When we change, we try to improve. So what are the positive aspects? Quickly, if I can get from your understandings of this Guru Shishya Parampara, the residential classrooms that we had. Can you see the skills? Dr. Anil Kumar, one way, it was more teacher-led, fine, teacher-centric model. But we have the skills also, but these skills are not going to work today. Talwar, bhala chalana is not required. Now, even if you look at the warfare, drones are there, fine. Moral values, Upkarjit Kaur, very fine. So now when we are talking about the holistic development, the values part also needs to be there. So if everything was fine, why did we change from here to here? What made us change? Can we reflect upon this? Why did we change? Maybe not British. Some component comes from that, the Macaulay model. But see, I'll go back to this and try to highlight one negative aspect, which I can relate with stories like Eklavya. Access and equity was not there for. These were more of privileged classrooms. Not everyone was allowed entry. But when we realized as societies, as great individuals like Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya ji, we instituted institutions as societies. Many of our institutions are pre-independence. And they originated, many of them associated with different religions. Institutions coming from group of Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, Christians, because we realized when we educate our next generation, we are empowering them. So the mass education started, and after independence, the right to education and everything. And now in NEP 2020, we are aspiring to be reaching 50% gross enrollment ratio by 2035. My one humble submission to all my colleagues: you have to have more number of students in front of you. You should not be saying that why I am having so many students, why I am not given just 8 to 10 students. But the values of this guru we should be imbibing. And what were those values? These were those individuals who thought, before we leave this world, that's the ultimate truth. We all have to be leaving this world. But before we leave, whatever knowledge, information, wisdom, skills we have acquired, it is our responsibility to transfer it to the next generation. We are into such a blessed profession, creating all other professions, preparing the next generation, the next society, and transferring that knowledge. So what you want to transfer, if you have something unique as a patent, as a research paper, as a book, as a video, digital content, should be original. Why should be waiting for a letter coming from the regulatory bodies that you should not be doing plagiarism? It should be inbuilt in us. I'll better not write any chapter or a book if I'm copying. And taking these values, let us try to become, even if we try to become 10% of these gurus, the system will change. We should not be waiting for any regulation. I think as an entire community, we have not lived up into that. And so these documents coming to us. As we embrace technology, the teacher who was more towards the board came in front, just like those gurus and shishya. But teacher is still near the board. That we have to change. We'll discuss. But this was the time when not all teachers wanted to the technology integration was happening at different pace in different classroom. But not every teacher was ready to embrace. And when there was no alternative, we changed. And that was the time of coronavirus pandemic. A silver lining in the dark cloud when teachers in school and higher education, they embrace technology. Earlier, they were fearing. These tools were already there, but we never interacted like we are doing right now, learning even beyond our formal professional time. But going back now after coronavirus pandemic to this situation or to this is not the solution. The solution is in this future of classroom teaching. So my question to all of you, do you have a robot in your class? Yes or no? Okay, the next question. Do you want a robot in your class? So majority answer is no. Anyone can mention why don't we want this? Some are now waiting for the robot in the class. Okay, good. Okay, all of you look into your smartphones and your students also have these. May not be this humanoid robot, but the robot is already there in your hands. Any information, any explanation as a teacher which you were doing from last decade or more than a decade on the blackboard, now all of that is available in these search engines or the tools, including the AI tools. So now this human teacher, if he or she is using the same pedagogy of teaching, explaining, and not taking the student to higher order thinking skill of applying, engaging with them, and creating something new is of no use. So now we have to prepare ourselves for this classroom, and the future is here. It is no longer a future. So we'll see how we will take the empowerment of these tools in the form of whether a physical robot or we already have it in our phones, doesn't matter. But our role has to change, and this is where we have to look at those values of the gurus, the type of pedagogy which they were like more interactive with the putting into efforts into skills as well. And all that we will see how it can be really done. But the goals of education still remain same. So some slides you'll find, I'll take it from Professor Bakshi sir. And what are the goals of education? Preparing them into competent professional, responsible Indian citizens, and good human being. And if we talk about competence, it cannot come only from knowledge. We have to have skills, both the 21st century skill as well as domain specific skills, and the entire personalities with values, attitudes, traits, and disposition, etc. And if we talk about skills, there will be 2 sessions on details of the skill development module. But very briefly, I will like to connect that also here. There are industry-specific skills, there are hard skills, and there are soft skills. As per the recent research conducted by Harvard University, Carnegie Foundation, and Stanford Research Center, they all have concluded that 85% of job success comes from having well-developed soft skills and people skills, while only 15% job success comes from technical skills and knowledge, which is hard skill. And unfortunately, the entire education system, whether it is the infrastructure or it is the human resources or other parts, there is more emphasis on hard skill and less on soft skills. Now, this needs to be looked up in a serious way, where how the soft skills can be improved. And similarly, there are other reports like future of job reports telling about that our employed graduates, the type of job they are doing, it is only 8.25% who are matching their qualification, and that too at level 3. Most of them are engaged in lower skill levels. So this also needs to be changed, and we have to be moving more number of skilled professionals into high competency roles so that they can be job creators rather than just seeking the jobs. And this can be achieved only by giving vocational orientation to education from early stage of education to higher education. And National Education Policy 2020, for the very first time, has integrated vocational education with general education as not a choice, but compulsory for every student. It's not the first time we are talking about skill education. We have introduced BVOC and MVOC somewhere around 2013. And even prior to that, when Ministry of Skills was formed and then shut again with the PPP type of model coming, skill centers, but not so much results. And now after NEP 2020, every course, every program, a 3-year or a 4-year, has to be integrated with compulsory skill enhancement courses. And there is also opportunity for the vocational education students from polytechnic institutions to continue their general education by utilizing those credits and entering into 2nd or 3rd year, like from polytechnic to engineering institutions. There are enabling provisions for lifelong learning with multiple entry, multiple exit options. And in order to provide a roadmap to all the institutions how to go ahead, this meta framework, our educational framework, has been introduced in April 2023, called as National Credit Framework. This National Credit Framework is a document which talks about all the 3 formal education systems of our country, namely the school education, the higher education, and vocational education and training. And this document has been prepared by all the regulatory bodies as well as the corresponding ministry, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Skill, and collectively they have formed a uniformed structure or a framework. But each of these verticals need to be dealt in detail, in depth, with a different look. So there are 3 sub-documents. One pertaining to school education. And please, I will request all of you to look into at least class 9th to 12th. Class 9th books are already in public domain. I am involved right now in class 11th, 12th chemistry. And no longer there will be science, commerce, and humanities. From next year, the students coming to you will be having a different blend of subjects. You also have to understand what they are coming prepared, and then accordingly, the curriculum design at undergraduate level has to be aligned. So the document which goes into more detail for higher education both the technical and non-technical education, is this National Higher Education Qualification Framework, which is NHEQF. Please read both these documents. They are available on public domain. But in order to design curriculum for this entire framework, we have to be imaginative, and need-based curricular structures have to be evolved with creative combination of subjects and disciplines. As a chemistry teacher, I should not be now taking my learning journey. Okay, chemistry will only work with physics or chemistry, physics, maths, or biology. That's all. No. Why not commerce? Why not a marketing management paper for a chemistry student? If the student wants to become entrepreneur in some chemistry product, he or she will not be able to take it further. So, new community. Why not philosophy? Why not psychology? So that thing we have to be leaving the stereotypes. No, this is the best combination that we have been giving to our students from last 30, 40, 50 years. No. Throughout the country, which is also at the global level, the recognition of learning will be done uniformly in the same unit, which is credit. Credit is not a new thing. We started the credits in choice-based credit system, CBCS, when we moved from annual to CBCS system. But we need to know some more depth about these credits. These credits are also aligned at different levels. And when you multiply the credits with credit levels, you get the credit points. But let me talk to you about these two definitions given in this document about the credits. First definition is that credits are a function of achieving the desired learning outcomes for a program or course or training determined by the successful assessment. And here I will like your attention on these two terms. One is the learning outcomes and the other is successful assessment. And this itself makes the base for outcome-based education and the COPO mapping. Without the learning outcomes being mapped with successful assessment, the credits have no significance. The other definition of credit is from the multiple entry, multiple exit point of view. Credit is recognition that a learner has completed a prior course of learning corresponding to a qualification at a given level. So if a student has earned the requisite credit, which is at higher education, minimum 40 credits at every level. If the student has earned, then we are duty bound to give him or her entry into the next level. I'm not talking about the what subjects. That is definitely we'll look into that aspect, but the multiple entry, multiple exit option will require this parameter to be complied with. These are the levels starting from class 5th, kept at level 1 in school education, going till level 4. Higher education 4.5 to level 8. And in skills, where mostly the polytechnic institutions or you have National Skill Qualification Framework. It is not after NEP. This is before. There are proper assessment frameworks and curriculum. There are 37 sector skill council. Try to be aware. More will be talked about by the speakers for the skill development module. So there were earlier 10 levels of NSQF. And now they also, after NEP 2020, have been changed into 8 levels. So 8 levels of skill and 8 levels of general education, and they can be multiple entry from skill, vocational education to general education and vice versa, as well as the vertical mobility. Next question comes, how much learning to be provided And that will be deciding the volume of the curriculum and the content as syllabus that we put into. How much the student should learn, so that we can make some courses as 1 credit, some as 2 credit, some as 4 credit. And this has been clearly mentioned. 1 credit is equal to 30 notional learning hours. Now, can you relate with the courses that you're teaching? Yes, Dr. Balvinder, ITI course, all of them, the credit will be this 30 notional learning hours. Now you look into your curriculum. Are you aligning with this? How many hours can you relate? And let us try to understand it from the screenshot which I have taken from National Credit Framework document. There are 3 broad type of courses. There are theory courses, practical, and then experiential learning. So you have to first see which course you are trying to make. And now this table is giving the institutional or the timetable or the workload that you look from institution point of view. And let me start with the theory course. From where this magical 15 or 30 is coming, there are 15 semesters, 15 weeks in a semester. So if in every week we put 1 hour class, not 50 minutes, not 1.5 hours, no other, every class or the period should be fixed at 1 hour. And 1 hour per week will automatically give us 15 hours. Now you can relate 1 credit course, you have 1 class per week. Fine. So broadly in framework, we are aligning. But let us deep dive into this. Assuming I am right now not talking about the pedagogy, which will reflect upon in next session. Whatever is happening inside the class between the teacher and learner or the learner and learner, student is definitely learning. So 15 hours are taken care inside the institution. But theory course will also require self-learning. So how much self-learning should be associated with 1 credit? Obviously, 30 notional learning hours minus 15, you get 15. Now, if as a teacher, you are taking extra classes to complete the so-called syllabus, you have made a voluminous curriculum, which is the major problem of majority of the institution, and that can be clearly seen if still there are our senior colleagues, the principals of the institutions or the others. Please look at a letter dated 29th April by Secretary UGC, 29th April 2025. That is after almost 5 years of NEP, and now we have completed 6 years. The letter says the curriculum needs to be changed. We talk about it has to be creative, bringing the creativity, innovation, but how? The experiential learning and all components are still lacking. And it is because of the volume, so much content heavy. It is almost 8 months I am working with my team at NCERT. And even till date, we are saying, okay, how much time this activity, if we have added, let us reduce some more curriculum. So the content needs to be reduced in order to have experiential learning here. And somehow you have completed, but your student is now taking, rather than 15 hours, 30, 40, 50, 60 hours. It is not a justified curriculum. So please relook this aspect. And it can be very much relieved. I have analyzed many curriculums, including obviously being a chemistry teacher. And I think all of you will also agree, please introspect. Class 11th, 12th and undergraduate first and second year, there is around 70 to 80% overlap. And we give justification, no, these Why are you starting with class 11th and why don't you start with A, B, C, D? That should be as a remedial, as a bridge course, not inside your main curriculum. Coming to the practical aspect, practical and theory should go hand in hand. In the effort of introducing new practicals, we are not adding the theory here or the practicals which are aligned to the theory. And what is happening, the teachers are using half of the time of the practical where the student has to perform. There also the theory of the corresponding practical is being taught. There is so much misalignment between the theory and practical. They are going hand in hand. So you have to be looking into that aspect. One more thing which is happening is, because earlier we were having only subject specific courses, and now we have skill courses, we have value added courses, we have ability enhancement courses. So obviously the subject specific courses are having decreased number of credits. But as teaching community, what we do when we sit up in the courses committee to design the curriculum, no, whatever was there in a 4-credit course, I will put everything in now this 2-credit course or a 3-credit course. And as a result, those practicals which required 4 hours to be performed and to work out are now reduced to 2 classes. And if you are reducing the framework, you have to be looking for the practicals in a doable manner. Who is saying the framework is not saying that these experiments are to be added? It is our wisdom which we are faltering at. So if you think that these experiments should be there, you decrease the theory credits and keep the practical credits same. But there is a mismatch. I think all my science colleagues will look into this. And wherever other practicals are also there. Practicals can only be done inside the institution. So all the 30 hours with no self-learning are inside the institution, and that's why for 1 credit, we give 2 classes per week. So automatically the 30 learning hours are adjusted here. Now coming to this experiential learning, many institutions, they will send the students for internship or field visits, industrial visits, and then say, okay, I'm giving you 10 credits, I'm giving you 20 credits. It has to be properly justified to the learning hours. Now, in this case, the student is not even performing. He or she is just observing. And that's why more number of hours. So rather than 30 notional learning hours will be completed when you have 40 to 45 hours of this. So this has to be factored in when you sign MOA with some institution who will be aligned to have this experiential learning. The next question comes, till now it was quantity, now the quality. What should be inside these learning hours when we are making the curriculum? They have to be not simply the curricular provisions of our subjects, physics, chemistry, math, geography, history, but also the co-curricular activities. As a physics teacher, can I have a sports integrated activity where the student is going into a field and different alignments of a volleyball, say, and then integrating with my formulas, or also the extracurricular activities like music, dance, sports, where we were never given marks. When we were students, there was a period called SUPW, some useful productive work. We were given good, excellent, well done. but never marks. And if you look around you, so many MSMEs as well as many big industries are around those SUPWs, which we never integrated in our curriculum. So apart from these routine things, we have to be adding experiential learning in our curriculum. Relevant experience, proficiency, professional levels, performing arts, fine arts, music, handicraft, traditional heritage word, debate, discussion, essay writing, recitation, story writing, celebration of festivals, self-defense classes, value education, contests, events, competitions like hackathons, Olympiads, sports, games, physical activity, yoga. And not every student will be inclined to the same sports or same music. So you have to give choices. Life skill-based education, employment, on community engagement, on different fields. Environment-related issues, teaching in NGOs, gender sensitization, also field visits, project, industry attachments, and now the credits can be earned for internship and apprenticeship hours. All have to be integrated, whatever possible, with that program in the framework. And the student can earn credit also from MOOCs on SWAYAM Plus up to 40%. And the entire ICT module will be talking in depth about that. So what are we talking about is the holistic development of students, which cannot be achieved by merely the academic access, which most of us have gone through. And I can really relate, even after doing doctorate from a prestigious university, University of Delhi, with flying colors. When I was in front of 50, 60 students as the first teaching assignment, I was nervous. Every 5 minutes, I was looking at my notes because I was never called by my teacher to come in front and discuss right on the board. That was option. Some students took part in debate. They developed better communication skills. But a chemistry student is never expected to do so. Why can't we integrate all these things? So that the student doesn't have to wait for another 10 years to work and prepare it. It has to be done right from school and higher education. So apart from the academic access, the skills aligned around that subject as well as generic skills, and then experiential learning. The more you do, you learn. So experiential learning as internship, apprenticeship, but experiential learning also in every course. And that's where the need of integration of skills. And as per this is one more document that you should be making a thorough read of. SOPs, standard operating procedures for operationalization of NCRF in all the three verticals. It clearly says that institutions should be also providing the provisions up to 50% of the total credit requirement at UG or PG program can be fulfilled by earning credits from skill-based courses. And this is the time where please convert your add-on courses into industry-specific skill enhancement courses, which you can offer as standalone as well, and you can offer it to your all the students who want to take additional credits. And these certifications should be having this logo, Skill India, Kaushal Bharat, Kushal Bharat. And we have to be uploading their credits on Academic Bank of Credit with their unique APAR ID. So thus far, all the institutions have, wherever the NEP has been implemented, have tried to align this entire framework with discipline-specific core courses, discipline-specific elective courses, ability enhancement, generic elective, skill enhancement courses, value-added courses, add-on courses, internship, etc. So the framework needs to be aligned, but the quality enhancement will also depend upon what we are doing inside every course on the curriculum of every course, the teaching learning pedagogies, the digital content required around that, and the assessment. And as individual teachers, please, wherever you can get time for 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, prepare yourself as skill enablers, aligned with some industry. In my initial struggling days, I ventured into e-learning industry. Never thought that I'll be making more than 50 MOOCs for the SWAYAM platform. But it was just because of that unique combination that these projects came my way. And I can guide students also around this. So please look into nearby industries, interact with them, learn what is happening, and prepare the courses around. Moving to the next part of how the curriculum needs to be aligned properly, that we will take in the next, because already it's 8:18. And so I'll stop here, and any thoughts, any queries, you can ask. Yeah. So thank you, and over to you. Dr. Aarti is there, or someone else has taken over?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, any question from the participant?
Your feedback form is also there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So I hope most of you are juggling with the overburdened syllabi. Try to reduce that. And even if you have a model curriculum, you have the freedom of having changing up to 30% you can change. So in that 30% scope, add more experiential learning components, which I will talk about, and other speakers will also help you in that direction. Yeah, thank you. So I think, Aarti, no more questions, but please from tomorrow onwards, try to be more interactive, right? So we can close for the day, Aarti.
Yes, ma'am. Formal vote of thanks. Thank you very much, Vimal ma'am, for sharing your expertise on today's talk. Your lecture is always inspiring and highly informative. We are deeply grateful for the time and knowledge you shared with us. Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you so much. And please have a good, healthy dinner with your family or friends, wherever you are. And tomorrow, when you go to your institution, wear one very important thing, that's your smile. And only then your teacher, the students will not be fearing you. नहीं तो लगता है इन टीचर से कैसे क्वेश्चन पूछे. So please wear that. I think Rajveer, you really agree with that, huh? And others. So with these words, thank you, namaskar, and see you tomorrow at 5 p.m. Bye.
Thanks, ma'am. Thanks.
Thank you.
Participants are requested kindly fill the feedback form for the session 1 and the session 2. Thank you very much, all the participants, and good night to you.